All right, here I am at the West Monroe Street Railroad Crossing in Sandusky, Ohio. Now, this railroad crossing right here is a rather neat crossing that I decided to travel out and tour, owned by the Norfolk Southern Sandusky District. And as a matter of fact, this is actually the very last railroad crossing you will ever find on the NS Sandusky District. And I originally discovered this crossing through mikesrxr.com, so I decided while I'm going to be going to the northeast part of Ohio, I decided to stop here today and come check it out. Now, this crossing has pretty much a few rare elements to it per se, and this crossing, after you pass this crossing heading north, you will find yourself in the Sandusky Coal Dock, or Sandusky Dock Corporation, and just a little further up, there's a few storage tracks, and the line just ends right down there, right by Lake Erie, which is pretty neat. So yeah, I guess with all those details out of the way, which I'll probably discuss again later, I'll go ahead and explain the equipment that's over here because it's rather neat per se. So I guess with that said, let's get to it. So for the first signal, this has a Rayco double-sided base, as you can see. And here's the emergency information, and the dot tag and the dot number is 481671A, and underneath it is some old sticker emergency information. Now, one thing worth mentioning, that back up until I'd say the late 2010s, this crossing, or this crossing in general, used to have two inverted two-track sign, but obviously ever since then they've ripped out the second track and they've removed those signs, sadly. So I guess with that said, so for the gate mechanism, which is the rare part, this has a Rayco gate mechanism, as you can see, engineered for long life. I'm honestly surprised that these are still here, so I guess the engineer for long life lives up to its name. And this features some Rayco incandescent gate lights in a wind guard. Actually, I think these are LED because they look newer. So these are Rayco LED gate lights. Man, really neat to still see the Rayco gate mechanisms here. And for the lights, this has two pairs of Safetran 12 by 24 inch incandescent lights, all sitting on a Safetran light bracket. And for a bell, this has a Griswold mechanical bell. I believe this is either a Rayco or Griswold. Actually, yeah, it's a Rayco mechanical bell. You can kind of see the fine print. So this has a Rayco mechanical bell, which is pretty neat. So I guess with that said, since everybody's out of the way, let's go ahead and shake this signal to see if it'll sound. So yeah, let's see this. Oh, yep, there it is. It's very shakeable as I think about it. Very healthy sounding bell too. I only gave it a slight push and it was going off. So that right there was the first signal. Now let's go ahead and move on to this little signal over here, which is a no left turn light, before, I go on to the next one. So right here is the next signal, which is a no left turn light. As you can see, it's pretty neat. So for this one, this has a Safetran base 4-inch with the Louisville, Kentucky lettering. And they also stamp the emergency information right here, but they sticker the dot number over. And what this features is one Rayco amber 8-inch light, as you can see, incandescent, and I think this is a Rayco 12-inch no left turn light, you can see. And this mast has no bell on it, but you can see that it's painted black about halfway up, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that right there was the no left turn light. It's kind of cool to see that this crossing has mostly Rayco equipment. So yeah, I guess with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the final signal. So yeah, we go ahead and go over here. Yep, there we go. This road is a little busy. There's a lot of trucks that go around, but oh well, that's that. So here is the next and final signal, which is similar to the first one. This has another Rayco double-sided base. And here's the emergency information once again. And for the gate mechanism, this has another Rayco gate mechanism, which is pretty neat. And as you can see, worth mentioning that they kind of cut off a part of the counterweight arm. Now, these are actually the more common, I would say, even though these gate mechanisms are not common by any means. These are the common later generation ones with the Safetran gate arms, while the earlier generation ones have, I would say, the the transport product style gate arms. But yeah, and this gate features some more Rayco LED gate lights and a wind guard on the mast. And as you can see, this has a General Signals gate arm bracket. And for the lights, this has two more pairs of Safetran 12 by 24 inch incandescent lights, all sitting on a Safetran light bracket. And for a bell, this has another Rayco mechanical bell. Pretty neat stuff. This has pretty much all Rayco equipment, which is pretty cool. So I guess with that said, let's go ahead and shake this signal as well, just to see what the bell would sound like. So I'm going to shake it slightly so it doesn't go off like the other one. Yep, there's that. Sounds just like the other one, so both the bells do kind of sound the same. So yeah, I guess that said, that was the equipment here to show for West Monroe Street in Sandusky, Ohio. Pretty neat stuff. Right at the end of the Sandusky district, here's the relay case, which is actually a Wabco relay case, which is also pretty neat. So I guess with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the track views. Down there is heading south towards another crossing at Old Street, and eventually towards more and more crossings down towards the main line eventually. Same with the Diamond that also crosses over, and also towards the Sandusky Yard eventually. And down there is heading north right towards the Sandusky Dock Corporation, right where the line ends. You could kind of see some coal cars and storage and a few other cool things that are around. Like there's a coal loading dock over there, and yeah, I'd say it's a pretty neat historic site right by Lake Erie. So I guess with all that said, this was the West Monroe Street Railroad crossing here in Sandusky, Ohio. Pretty neat stuff. I hope to get this crossing in action eventually, especially with those rare gate mechanisms and all Rayco equipment basically. So I guess with all that said, over and out.